Let me ask you a question, and if you have time, try to ask also someone around you think what could be their answer. Do you love China? I think most of us who are not Chinese, the answer will be yes. Not really like I'm a supporter of China, comparatively to if they could ask you about the USA. So what happened that we don't like China that much? What's going on really about China? The very easy answer could be the media. The media portrays them to be the bad guy now. Everybody doesn't just view China as the best friend or not really the guy to deal with. How did it happen that China reached that place? Okay, this video doesn't aim to tell you that China is good or bad. It's just my opinion on something. Let's continue the video. Remember the COVID time in which we were kind of forced to admit that China is the bad guy and a virus that was killing the whole world was coming from a place where people just didn't have the discipline on what to eat exactly. But if you think properly, it's not the very first place that a virus ever came from. Viruses have come from so many different places, surprisingly even out of eating wrong foods. And none of us, really none of us, took time to tell themselves, I think there are victims there also, so why should we blame them for being the people where the first cases showed up? It's like having someone who gets an accident in your house and then they blame you for being the first house where an accident happened. And to my surprise, I came to realize that it's not only that, but for the past decade, let me say so, I don't really remember coming across a lot of news, especially from outside of China, which portrayed China as someone who is doing something really good for us. Unfortunately, one of the most crazy things is that even today, products from China are seen as the low-end stuff and they are not really good. And once it's labeled made in China, it's not really something good. And these have been for very long, like as far as I can remember. It's while growing up, almost everything that I was touching, at least in my country, was literally written on made in China. But I had to be taught later on that products in which it's written made in China is not really good. But let me leave you with something. We as consumers of news, mostly, we turn to just adjust to what the news are giving us and assume that is the truth. Can't question anything. And even if we question, we don't really question that much. And this came to my attention sometimes back, realizing that China does play a very huge role in how the world is today. I'm not saying they are playing the best role. I'm not saying that the ones making the world being the best place to be. No. But they are playing their role. One way or another, they are serving one nation or another. Today, almost every nation today have used Chinese technology or Chinese one way or another. But China somehow, to most countries, it be in the US, in Africa, and in India, the face of the bad guy. And what I'm trying to tell you is that, hey, we don't have to walk around viewing them in the lens of always the bad guy, always cheating, always fake. I think we should have also the freedom of questioning what the news are telling us. Is it really true, or they're trying to reduce the market of China so that they get the market on their own? Thanks so much for being here. Catch you next time.